Live from KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
It's back to school, but will the AC work? San Antonio ISD warning parents that the district is making plans in case classrooms aren't cool enough.
And they start school tomorrow. SAISD sent a letter to parents saying kids could have to go to different classrooms or even different campuses if the air conditioning is not working properly.
Can you imagine? You might remember SAISD had issues with the AC back in the spring when classes were too hot. Then last January, they had no heat. That shut down every school in the district for a few days.
And now the district says school staffers will check room temperatures at 5 a.m. tomorrow. If it's too hot, portable AC units will be brought in. If there are no available units, some students will be moved to different classrooms within the school. And in some extreme cases, SAISD says that students could be taken to other campuses.
Yeah, the district says parents will be alerted if their student has to relocate campuses for the day and that they can be picked up from their temporary school. Students who ride the bus will be taken back to their home campus for normal bus riding procedures. In this email to parents, the district added they're working on long-term solutions to this problem. That includes a $575 million bond project that would bring campuses up to current standards. A breakdown of these new procedures can be found on our website, KSAT.com.
Meantime, a new school year begins with an old persistent issue, a bus driver shortage. With the first day of class upon us for so many, are districts seeing any improvements with filling vacant bus driver positions? KSAT producer Pashada Pope speaks with a few of the city's biggest school districts to see how they've prepared to get their students back to campus.
The flashing lights of the school bus, telltale sign school days are back. District officials in charge of transportation have been constantly working to recruit enough drivers to cover the routes.
We're about 30 drivers short.
We have positions opening for about 37 positions available for bus drivers.
We had almost 100% return rate, so we're doing good on our drivers.
SAISD's full driver roster isn't typical, considering the lingering national bus driver shortage. Northeast and Northside ISDs tell us because they are still hiring for open spots, drivers already on staff will have to cover more than one route.
Right now we have about 7 or 8 routes we double up.
We'll have to create double bus routes, but it's less than 20 at this point in time.
Cecilia Solis, Northside ISD's Director of Transportation, adds, come August 19th, there will be more routes thanks to a new elementary school.
Few bus routes added to our newest elementary school, Chumley Elementary, and so those children living in that neighborhood that are going to be attending Chumley might have a new bus route.
With 225 routes, Bill Harrison of Northeast ISD says there are minimal changes.
We had, I think, maybe 6 or 7 routes where there's some changes. So the campuses all have that. And then through our online portal where parents can go in.
The big change for SAISD on Tuesday, Nathan Graff says, is that most of the schools the district closed in June as part of the right sizing plan are now bus stops for the students who have to go to a new school.
There are new routes. Most of the new stops are going to be at the schools that we're closing. So that's very convenient for our parents. Almost at every school that closed, we placed a stop there. So that way we pick those kids up and then we take them to the new school.
All 3 district officials say parents and students can find all this information on the district's website. Pashada Pope, KSAT 12 News.
Northside ISD tells us their bus routes are now online for parents and students to look over. Since school starts in that district next Monday, district officials are urging parents to have their children get familiar with the bus stops so they'll know where they need to be to catch the right bus. Trying to make that easier for you, just scan this QR code on your screen. That will take you right to links to the transportation sections of Northeast, Northside, and SAISD's websites.
There are so many schools in the area starting back up this week. We mentioned SAISD. Parents pay attention. The district's returning tomorrow, along with SAISD, Edgewood, Great Hearts, IDEA, Lytle, Medina Valley ISDs will all head back to school bright and early on Tuesday. Now, to stay on top of all the back-to-school start dates, backpack giveaways, other important back-to-school announcements, head to our website at KSAT.com.
Have you ever heard of the Texas School Safety Center or the Chief of School Safety and Security for Texas? Here's a better question. What are both doing to try to make your child's school safer?
Every campus shooter, every active threat, someone has always said something in writing, online, to one of their peers, to a teacher, to a family member.
The Texas School Safety Center is trying to catch that something through teams created in districts all across the state. We hit the road to San Marcos and Austin to introduce you to that center and the Chief of School Safety and Security. It's all in a KSAT Explains, and it's coming up.
Check out your traffic on this Monday. We're going to go to 410 and Jackson Keller right now, and you can see there's some sort of incident in the median there between the east and westbound of 410. It's got one lane blocked. Again, we're not sure exactly what's happening there. It looks like there may be a vehicle that's stalled. Again, this is 410 at Jackson Keller, affecting both sides, but there's one lane that's blocked there, as you can see.
Hot start to the school year for a lot of folks, Adam. We're looking for a little break.
Well, when you start so, early in August compared to usual, yeah, it's going to be hot. And it typically is a hot start this time of year. Even when you get into September, we can be hot. 98 currently, dew point is 71, so it feels like 106 when you factor in that humidity. Officially, we hit 100 in San Antonio at the airport today. We'll have the 100-degree day counter in a little bit. Del Rio up to 105, though. More heat. Of course, slight chance of rain and Tropical Storm Ernesto to talk about.
Thank you, Adam. A man charged in the murder of his girlfriend and their unborn child today sentenced to 50 years in prison for accepting a plea deal on a lesser charge. Michael Palafas shot and killed a pregnant 36-year-old woman last October. Erica Hernandez takes us inside the courtroom as that sentencing takes place.
Tears and plenty of emotion from the family of Allison Ceballos as they get some sort of closure following her death last October. Allison, who was pregnant, was found with a gunshot wound to the head and a vehicle on Morning View Drive on the city's east side. Allison and her unborn baby girl later died. Michael Palafos, her boyfriend, surrendered to police and was charged with capital murder of multiple persons. In court this morning, Palafos had no reaction and only spoke when he entered his plea.
How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? No contest.
Palafos was then given 50 years on the lesser charge of murder. After the sentence was handed down, Allison's sister tried to give an impact statement but was overcome with emotion.
Do you want me to read it?
Prosecutor Caitlin Knowles reading her statement for her.
As we sit here today, mourning the loss of a daughter, sister, mother, and aunt, not to mention a sweet baby girl that didn't even have a chance to live, over a senseless act, we will never know what really happened. As you walk out of here with no remorse and no amount of years you will get will ever bring my sister back. You deserve to be there and never see the light of day.
Palafos, who is a repeat offender, will more than likely have to serve his full sentence, but he is eligible for parole after serving half. At the Kiduna Reefs Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
It's being torn down. Today, demolition began on the First Baptist Church of Sutherland Springs. On November 5th, 2017, 26 people were killed in that church during Sunday service.
Members of the church voted to demolish the sanctuary back in 2021. And after many families legally fought to keep the church standing, a judge officially cleared this demolition last month.
Public records released Saturday by the city of Uvalde shows its officers' actions did not follow the department's own active shooter response policy during the Robb Elementary massacre. UPD's policy manual instructs officers that any delay in action by police could result in additional deaths or injuries. That policy was among a trove of records provided to KSAT over the weekend following a nearly 2-year legal fight. But body-worn camera footage recorded by officers from that same department show officers hanging back after 2 were grazed by rifle fire from the gunman. No officers from UPD have been criminally charged in the aftermath of this shooting. Both members of law enforcement who now are facing criminal charges, Chief Pete Arredondo and Adrian Gonzalez, worked for the school district police department. UCISD in Uvalde County and the Texas Department of Public Safety, meantime, are continuing to appeal court orders to release records from that shooting that are in their possession.
A Jourdanton family trusted a daycare with their 4-year-old son, only to find out an employee punished him by making him squat while on his tiptoes. His parents recorded the boy's account of exactly what took place.
Oh, they make you put your feet like that? Yeah. They tell you to put your feet like that? Oh my goodness, that is not good, buddy.
The child, according to a June investigation by Texas Health and Human Services, had been removed from his classroom for a timeout and asked by an employee to stand still on a piece of tape on the floor. The punishment lasted anywhere from 4 to 30 minutes.
And they make you stand like that? Yeah. Do they make you stand like that for a long time?
And then I cry. You entrust your kids into a daycare to take care of these child and know that they're going to do the proper type of discipline. And for them to fail at doing that is that's the saddening part.
The boy's aunt, Lena Moreno, said it was common for daycare staff to isolate her nephew from his classmates.
I would go to pick him up and he would never be in his class.
Tuesday on the Night Beat, the daycare's owner responds to these allegations as KSAT investigates the full list of deficiencies. It's on the Night Beat Tuesday. Will they carry on? A longtime downtown San Antonio symbol at the center of a debate at City Hall.
And the city wants to hear from you about those horse-drawn carriages that you see on the city streets nearly every night. Why the city wants your input. Next. Happening later this week, Doc Talk. And this week it is all about kids. Scan this QR code to send us any medical questions that you have related to kids' care. And we'll take your questions to a local pediatrician. KSAT 12's Doc Talk airs every Thursday right here at 6:30.
A push on social media to find missing people. Coming up tonight on the Night Beat, how one San Antonio nonprofit is using AI to spread their messages and help solve their cases.
Are the days of horse-drawn carriages in San Antonio numbered or a continuing tradition? City staff expected to present plans next week for how the use of horse-drawn carriages downtown should change, if at all.
But first, the city has been asking for your opinion in a survey that's set to wrap up tomorrow. But a carriage company owner tells our Garrett Berger they have some doubts about how that will be used.
In the 2.5 weeks since it went up online, the city of San Antonio says it's received more than 47,000 responses to its survey on horse-drawn carriages, which includes a question on what should happen next. A full ban and transition to electric carriages and pedicabs, moving the carriages to city parks with alternate hours, keeping them downtown and expanding to beyond with alternate hours.
All right, obviously we're having some problems with the package itself. So when the city originally announced they're asking for input about the carriages a few weeks back, there are a lot of options. We took it a step further. We wanted to know what you thought about the idea.
And check this out. More than 1,800 people voted. Very close here, but a slight majority said they would be in favor of the city banning those horse-drawn carriages in the city of San Antonio. And
if I remember right, basically, it's to do away with them altogether downtown, to allow them to be in certain parts of downtown. I mean, it's basically an all-out ban to certain restrictions to certain parts of town is what the council is going to be deciding.
This is an idea that was first floated years ago. It took a while to get here, so we know we had some issues with that story, but you can go check that out, the full version on our website at ksat.com.
Yeah, meanwhile, we notch another 100-degree day in our belt for August. Nowhere near a record, but still, this is going to be a brutal week.
Yeah, we're feeling the heat this week, and it's back to school, but it doesn't feel like back to school weather necessarily. No. Feels like we should be hopping in the pool still and doing whatever we can to keep cool. But let's take a look first at a little bit of activity out there on Authority radar. Most of what you see there is just insects and whatnot being pushed by the wind, but there is one little downpour that is just northwest of Gonzales, just outside of Gonzales along 183, and that's close to I-10. One little coastal shower. We had a couple others, one near Hallettsville last hour and one just outside of Cuero, but that's about it. This is the lone downpour that we have with no lightning or anything. But I do want to point out this cluster of clouds and corresponding rain out in the Gulf of Mexico earlier today. This is due south of Louisiana. This activity, this little burst of energy in the upper levels that's going to be rounding into Texas and moving our way tomorrow gives us the off chance of a few isolated showers, mainly closer to the Gulf Coast, but it wouldn't shock me even if a few made their way or popped up a little closer to San Antonio. Only about a 10% chance, so nothing significant, but there is a little disturbance overhead that, if not just makes some extra clouds, could even pop a shower or two. But you look at the overall, the generalized rainfall potential over the next 7 days, and it's not over Texas. Actually, it's kind of a ring around us. You see that? We've got the donut hole of rain back in place, and that's because of the upper level high. I do want to point out, notice the desert southwest and parts of western Mexico likely to get out in on more showers. It is monsoon season there, and this is typically when they see their shower activity because of the position of the upper level high. Right now it's over North Texas, but with that clockwise circulation around it, as it moves around and drifts, it pulls the Pacific moisture into the desert southwest, and this is the time of year that they actually get in on some of their rain. All right, let's talk about the hurricane season. Your average hurricane season, of course, in the Atlantic Basin, peaks September 10th. We're still about a month away from that, but notice how typically activity starts to pick up between now and then. And we're getting a little bit of action out there right now. We have a new tropical storm. Welcome, Ernesto. This is near the Windward Islands, the Leeward Islands. It is interacting with the land there, but it is going to be trekking northward into the Atlantic as we go throughout this week in the coming days. And by about Thursday timeframe, likely turn into a hurricane, Category 1, thereafter potentially even a Category 2 as it heads northward toward Bermuda. This should stay far away from the U.S., and even the computer models, the spaghetti plots, are in pretty good tight agreement for the most part of keeping that curving northward away from the U.S. and paralleling the coastline, but being very far away from it. 16 100-degree days so far this year. By this time last year, we had over 40. This time 2 years ago, we had over 50. And you look at the overall temperature trend here in Texas, above average for a good portion of this month. Tomorrow, 79 in the morning, 99 in the afternoon. There's that 10% chance. That's all we have to look forward to. Right near triple digits everywhere, give or take a degree or two. And that's going to be the rule all the way through the next 7 to 10 days.
Oof. All right. Thank you, Adam.
All right. So the Cowboys got some questions answered yesterday. My question is, was Trey Lance one of them?
I think he is for sure, because there's a lot out there, fans of the Cowboys, who believe Trey Lance is going to take over for Dak one day. Yeah, Now, will that happen? We don't know, but I'll tell you what, Trey Lance saw his first meaningful playing time since joining the Cowboys, and he looked pretty darn good. And Tyron Billy Johnson, he's a wide receiver who's hoping to stick with the Cowboys. Number 13 coming up.
Keep doing what I'm doing. Stack days, be a key factor on special teams. That's the only way a guy like me would make the team.
Tyron Billy Johnson has been a surprise player for the Dallas Cowboys, turning heads in Oxnard and Big Board Sports. The Dallas Cowboys lost their preseason opener at the LA Rams 13-12 yesterday, but the boys' defense certainly gave Rams QB Stetson Bennett a tough look, intercepting him 4 times by 4 different players. Now, on the flip side, Cowboys quarterback Trey Lance played most of the game following starter Cooper Rush, and Lance went 25 of 41 for 188 yards, his first game in nearly a year when he was still with the 49ers.
Yeah, it was good. It was exciting. Man, I mean, anytime we win the turnover battle 4-0, I would hope that we win the game. So definitely got to score more points, but it was fun to be back out there for sure. And yeah, it was just I had fun. Got a ton of plays called. I thought we were efficient in and out of the huddle. Got to play and see with play with a bunch of different guys. So it was a ton of fun to go out and compete and feel the energy in the huddle with those guys.
The boys will now get ready to play at the Las Vegas Raiders Saturday night. Number 13, Tyron Billy Johnson is certainly a player to root for, and he hopes to call the Dallas Cowboys his team for many years to come. Undrafted out of college in 2019, Billy Johnson has bounced around the NFL, joining the Texans 3 different times, along with the Bills, Panthers, Chargers, Jaguars, Raiders, Bengals, 49ers, and now the Dallas Cowboys. So he's mainly been on practice squads, but he has seen some game action with the Chargers. Before we left training camp in Oxnard, we talked with Billy Johnson after practice one day. He's built for speed and has a good rapport with Dak Prescott.
I just got a lot of experience, and after that, I dealt with a lot of coaching changes. Couldn't really stick. This is actually my first team having the same playbook twice and the same head coach twice.
Okay.
So just dealing with the different challenges and adversity coming with being an undrafted guy, you don't get that many chances.
Sure.
And so every chance you get, you got to take advantage of it.
So what do you feel about this chance with the Dallas Cowboys? Because Coach McCarthy and some of the players have had really positive things to say about you.
Yeah, I love it here. I got a chance to do great things, to make this team, and to be out there with them guys on Sunday. And I think Coach McCarthy, Jerry, everybody, Will, everybody that gave me an opportunity to be out here with these guys.
What's it like being out here with Dak? And it seems like you two have a good chemistry already.
Yeah, it just comes with trust. It comes with, Dak trusting, that I'm going to be where he wants me to be through it. And looking at the field and getting open. There's a lot of times when a guy like me, get open, and I don't get the ball, but the quarterback sees it in the film room.
Sure.
So next day, he's like, I'm going to this guy.
So what do you bring to the Dallas Cowboys?
I bring speed, I bring attitude, enthusiasm. I get the guys going, and definitely speed, a deep part of the field for sure. Just energy, because I know how I feel to have a bad practice, to have a bad game, to get cut, obviously. So I'm like one of the older guys on the team now, going on my 6th year. So I try to keep them guys that never experienced that, head in a game. They never experienced getting cut, sure. Never experienced getting demoted, never experienced getting the ball and not getting the ball. So these guys never experienced it, so I give them game on how to get through it.
I'll tell you what, bouncing around the NFL so much, dude has a great attitude.
Mm-hmm.
He's also got a great name.
He does.
It should be Tyron Billy White Shoes Johnson.
White Shoes Johnson, love
Remember
it.
that guy from the Oilers?
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, thanks, Larry. Coming up next, KSAT explains the Texas School Safety Center. What are they actually doing to strengthen campuses? We'll take a look coming up.
With all the things that parents think about during back to school, safety is certainly one of them. The state of Texas has a chief of school safety and security and the Texas School Safety Center.
So what do each of them actually do? We found out, and this KSAT explains. Passing by this building on a corner in San Marcos, you never know the critically important mission that's underway inside.
I was just trying to get the threat assessment case worksheet up.
This is Brian Clayson.
I'm the program manager of training and education
at the Texas School Safety Center. Not a large, flashy facility packed with high-tech gadgets, but an ordinary office building with a statewide reach. Brian's role?
Take the laws that are on the books and any clarifications that come from TEA and create trainings for school districts and school-based law enforcement to utilize.
And that can be a big job because laws created here don't often spell out how to put them into practice here.
The Texas School Safety Center was actually created in 1999, shortly after the Columbine school shooting, to officially serve as the central clearinghouse for school safety to provide training, research, and technical assistance to public schools.
Some of that includes training for a school threat that is all too familiar, an active shooter. It was the murders of 19 children and 2 teachers in Uvalde that prompted Governor Greg Abbott to order the creation of this man's job.
Okay.
My name is John Scott, and I am the Chief of School Safety and Security at Texas Education Agency. I spent the vast majority of my adult life protecting the most powerful people in the world. but now have the opportunity to use those skills to protect the most important people in the world, which are children.
Scott's background is in the United States Secret Service, serving in roles that included the Assistant Special Agent in Charge in the North Texas District and in the Vice Presidential Protective Division in Washington, D.C.
Coming from a career in the Secret Service, I've had the opportunity to set up and establish, run, and supervise security operations at venues all across America and all across the world. I grew up in Texas schools. My kids went to Texas schools. My wife was actually a teacher in Texas schools.
Scott believes the new Office of School Safety and Security within the Texas Education Agency professionalizes school safety in the state.
Before, not that there weren't professionals out there, but it wasn't an organized push or an organized program. Now with us, I think that we can bring some experience to the table, some techniques that, seeing things not coming from the school environment, I see things a little differently.
Scott says he talks to school superintendents daily. 1,400 of them have his personal cell phone number, and he also communicates closely with the Texas School Safety Center.
We're working in coordination with TEA, who serves as the regulatory entity who will be checking to make sure that school districts are following these school safety mandates.
Many of the trainings and resources provided by the School Safety Center are done online or through conversations like these.
Before a team may conduct a threat assessment, they must first notify the parent or guardian.
A big part of Brian's work is establishing and training behavioral threat assessment teams for schools.
Threat assessment teams are charged with identifying students who are on the pathway to violence.
Those teams had to have someone from each of these areas of expertise when the state began requiring them in 2019. But that was tough for districts that don't have those resources. So the state eased those requirements, and the School Safety Center is helping schools navigate that.
Okay, how do we figure out how to get as much of this expertise onto the team as possible? So we really want law enforcement. We really want mental health. We want to make sure that our students with special needs are being accounted for.
Each campus could have its own threat assessment team, or the district could have teams that serve multiple campuses.
We know that students often are the first to know about these types of threats. Leakage is very common. Someone knew something. And so part of the school behavioral threat assessment training that we provide is really trying to educate these teams to go back and educate the parents and the students about identifying concerning behaviors.
I say, walk me through a scenario where a parent or a student reports something during the school day. You're staffed, you're there, and you need to respond. I also want to hear about a threat that comes in anonymously at midnight on Saturday. How do you guys get together, and who's determining this is something that we need to act on now?
Active shooter training is provided to law enforcement by the Alert Center at Texas State University. House Bill 3, signed into law in 2023, requires all peace officers and school resource officers to get that training at least every 4 years. HB 3 also calls for annual intruder detection audits of schools, which began after the Robb Elementary School shooting. The TEA oversees those inspections.
Can you talk a little bit about what that audit entails?
Well, we don't want to go too much into what the audit entails. Well, you would show a team your game plan. The students don't even know it's occurring. Most staff don't even know it's occurring, but it's a good check to make sure that what a superintendent believes is happening on their campuses is actually happening.
The School Safety Center also trains for threats that happen more often, like cyberbullying, extreme weather, or even hazardous materials. 40% of Texas school campuses have train tracks nearby.
So, do you know what's on those trains? What kind of chemicals? What if there was a crash and there was a spill?
HB 3 also requires the Safety Center to review school emergency operations plans every year. Those plans must include an active shooter response plan. In a 2017 to 2020 audit of Texas schools, only 200 of the more than 1,000 districts reviewed had what the School Safety Center called a viable active shooter policy.
Do you know if the School Safety Center has knowledge or evidence of times when something was stopped through this kind of training?
Well, it's hard to prove a negative. We know that they're not happening every single day. And so there are going to be so many situations that we never hear about because they were averted. We may not be able to prevent these types of situations 100% of the time, but through school behavioral threat assessment done with Fidelity, we can prevent them most of the time.
We're not talking about someone's attendance or grades, we're talking about life or death.
Scan this QR code to watch any of our KSAT Explained stories on demand, including this one. There are a lot of different topics to choose from. You can find Explains on KSAT.com, the KSAT YouTube page, or the KSAT Plus app. We'll be right back. Vice President Kamala Harris and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz have gained momentum in some key states.
The new Democratic ticket just completed its first week on the campaign trail, holding rallies in several battleground states. ABC's Christiane Cordero reports on the race for the White House.
Today, after a week of rallies in key states, momentum is swinging back towards the Democratic ticket. A New York Times Siena poll shows Vice President Kamala Harris has a 4-point edge on former President Donald Trump in Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Michigan, within the margin of error. Harris is expected to unveil her economic plans in the coming days.
When I am president, we will continue our fight for working families of America. Including to raise the minimum wage and eliminate taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers.
Trump responding, she copied my no taxes on tips policy.
We will pass massive tax cuts for workers, and that includes no tax on tips.
Something he's promised for months. Also on social media, Trump is pushing false claims that Harris used artificial intelligence to create images of fake crowds. That's not true. Thousands of people have attended her rallies, including 15,000 here in Phoenix, where running mate Minnesota Governor Tim Walz took a jab at the former president.
It's not as if anybody cares about crowd sizes or anything.
Trump's running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, is pushing immigration reform as a top campaign issue. Trump has vowed mass deportations. ABC's John Carl pressed Vance to elaborate.
I think it's interesting that people focus on, well, how do you deport 18 million people? Let's start with 1 million. That's where Kamala Harris has failed, and then we can go from there.
Both campaigns will be on the road later this week. Trump in North Carolina, Harris too, after a stop in Maryland with President Biden. And the Democratic National Convention kicks off 1 week from today. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
And closer to home, we're doing something different for this election season. We're visiting communities across South Texas to talk up to people about the issues that matter most to them. Our first two stops are down Uvalde and Seguin. Those episodes on our website right now. And if you want a reason to feel good about our political discourse in our country leading up to the election, you want to check this out. Your Voice, South Texas.
May not be feeling good about these temperatures, but guess what? They're sticking around a while, Adam.
Oh yeah,
It's August.
Thank you. It is hard to get rid of them this time of year. We typically see our first real cold front that has an impact on how it feels by mid to late September. Now look at this, Authority radar. This is over the past 30 minutes. One little shower happened to pop up. A few of those clouds that we were seeing, one of them actually dropped a little bit of rain here. This is just near La Cantera, Leon Springs, the Rim area. One little pop-up shower. That's about it. We do have slight chances tomorrow. We'll get to that, the overall pattern in the tropics in just a bit.
Stay hydrated.
Yes.
Please,
cool
if you have to
any
be
way
out.
you can, for sure. We also got some tropics to talk about. What's going on there, Adam?
Yeah, we have a tropical storm Ernesto out in the Atlantic right now. So we'll get to that in a moment. But first, I want to start with Authority radar. I mentioned earlier one little shower pop up along I-10 near La Cantera. And there's another little shower that popped up between Gonzales and Luling, now just outside of Luling, a little bit of that activity. This is highly isolated, insignificant, and there could be a little bit more of it tomorrow. And probably a handful more showers just because you see this cloud activity and the thunderstorms that built in the central Gulf of Mexico earlier today. That is a little ripple, a little piece of energy in the upper level flow that's going to be steered around the upper level high, and it's going to be pushed into Texas tomorrow. And that gives us a slight chance of shower activity. We're talking 10%. Okay, so not a big deal. Nothing that's going to be anything significant, but don't be surprised if you do see one or two pop up on the radar tomorrow afternoon. But the overall rainfall potential, like I said before, all around Texas and not over Texas. But keep in mind, most of the state not even in drought or even considered abnormally dry. About 3/4 of the state not in drought right now. Upper level high is shielding most of the rain from us. It is helping to steer this little disturbance in from the Gulf. See the upper level winds carrying it westward in from the Gulf. But overall, the upper level high is going to be the main driving force in our weather. It'll split a little bit this week and then just join back up and influence our weather. Keep us generally high and dry, and our temperatures a little above average. Average high, keep in mind, is 97. We're going to be above that. But there are other parts of the country that have a good shot at below average temperatures through August 22nd. This is the longer range look at our temperature trend. Great Lakes and West Coast could actually be below average. So we've got the heat. So far this year, we've had 16 100-degree days. This time last year we had 47. This time 2 years ago we had 57 100-degree days. Tomorrow we start the day at 79, 93 at noon. So at the bus stop early, of course, feeling warm and humid. 99 the high temperature. Another sweaty recess for the kids. Be sure to have that water bottle filled up and ready to go by the time you get back into class. Carrizo Springs tomorrow, 104. Cotulla at 103. Notice a similar trend throughout the rest of the week and even into next week, anywhere from 99 to 102 for the high. So right now we have Tropical Storm Ernesto way out in the Atlantic. Still a fairly weak system, but likely to gradually strengthen as it heads northward toward Bermuda. Right now near the Leeward and Windward Islands, and still pretty unorganized. But again, as it gets away from the interacting with land and pushes northward, more conducive environment for strengthening, likely a Category 1 to Category 2 by Thursday into Friday. Highly likely to stay far away from the U.S. We're not concerned about this. Just that 10% chance tomorrow. Otherwise, we're high and dry and sunny. And a quick shout out.
There you go.
Lucina's first day of school and ready. We've got Phoebe going to 3rd grade, another one 3rd grade bound. Armando. Hope you had a good day.
Happy first day.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Adam.
Vinyl, treasure, and flowers coming up the bus.
Time to go retro in the buzz today. Today is Vinyl Record Day. If you're not in the habit of listening to LPs, you could go find that old turntable if you still have one.
I bought a new one, actually, when I got back into it. Now, while vinyl records left the music industry mainstream decades ago, they've made a comeback among audiophiles. Many top artists have actually been releasing their albums on vinyl in recent years. It's become quite a collection thing, and Vinyl Record Day is huge.
You can find these at Target now.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, but some of these are like, they'll put out rare records or like, never heard before things, live shows, all kinds of stuff. All right, a floral masterpiece in Colombia right now. Look at that. A mall in Medellin creating a massive plant display using 180,000 flowers.
You know what that first reminded me of? A Fiesta float. That's the first thing that came to mind. The main figure, a 36-foot high seahorse surrounded by plants and flowers that recreate the marine ecosystem. It's a tourist attraction for those visiting the annual flower fair. That's beautiful.
How did they do it?
I have no idea.
Neither do I. All right, treasure and death in the ancient world. Archaeologists at the buried city of Pompeii in Italy have unearthed the skeletal remains of a man and a woman, along with a cache of coins and precious jewelry.
The city was home to around 20,000 Romans when it was buried under ash and volcanic glass during that 79 AD eruption of Mount Vesuvius. The woman's skeleton was found on a bed, clutching a small cache of gold, silver, and bronze coins, as well as gold and pearl earrings.
That happened so long ago.
Yeah.
And we're just now finding some more stuff.
Mysteries.
Absolutely. All right, we'll be right back.
Oh, who's getting a roast? Spreester's going to be watching. I know that much.
Oh, yeah.
Set your DVR. Okay, so one little downpour just popped up again. Check that out, just west of Leon Springs, just a few minutes ago. That's it.
That's it. That's it.
Lucky.
Thanks for watching.
See you, Ted.
See you at our watch party, Steve.